Welcome to another edition of Innovation Unedited. I'm your host, Sasha Whitaker, and I'm a sophomore at Macaulay Honors College at City College. Today we continue our discussions on the recipients of Nobel Prizes, specifically those who have studied at the City University of New York. We are coming to you today from the lovely green room of WHCR 90.3 FM, the Voice of Harlem. This is the radio station on campus at City College. With us today are all of the honors students in Macaulay Seminar 3, Science and Technology in New York City, led by Professor Angelo Lampusis with help from ITF Aaron Kendall. We continue our discussion today with Amanda Bernstein. Welcome, Amanda.
Thank you.
And Amanda has been researching yet another Nobel Prize winner. Her person is Arno Penzias, and he won the 1978 Nobel Prize in Physics. So Amanda, could you open with a brief biography of Arno Penzias?
Of course. So he was actually born in Munich, Germany in 1933, and his family was deported because it was during World War II and they were Jewish. So after being deported to England, they then moved to the United States in 1940, where they settled in the Garment District. And he graduated from Brooklyn Tech High School in 1951 and then went straight to college at City College, where originally he was a chemical engineering major. But then freshman year he was in a physics class and discovered his love for physics, so switched majors, which led him on his path today. Mm-hmm. From City College he got his doctorate from Columbia in 1962 and actually served for 2 years in the U.S. Army Signal Corps, where he did work with radios and radio waves, which is where his research led for the Nobel Prize. So he got the Nobel Prize for physics, specifically for discovering background radio waves and cosmic radiation, which actually gave proof of the Big Bang theory of cosmic evolution.
So that's like this ambient radiation that fills the universe, and
Right.
was finally able to detect that.
Yeah, so him and his partner, Robert Woodrow Wilson, were the two who discovered this. And they actually only got half of the Nobel Prize between the two of them. The other half of it went to a Russian scientist, Pyotr Kapitsa, for similar work with just basic physics and understanding the evolutionary background.
So there was some collaboration involved between Penzias and his other researchers.
He was all for collaboration. He actually, in his other research past the Nobel Prize, he would check with other scientists who did similar things and be like, oh, did you get a similar temperature for this? Or just send out his work to everybody so that they could give him input on what they thought of his research.
It's so important to verify your results, especially when you're doing such innovative new research. Very interesting. So you said this gave us evidence of the Big Bang theory?
Yeah. Just because it's such like a minor, like it's a major accomplishment, but since it's cosmic radiation that's been everywhere, he was able to pinpoint that's where it came from. It started with the Big Bang, and then it's just background noise now. But it doesn't really have an impact on how things are working now. It's just how everything started off.
Right, so just these echoes of the very first beginning creation of the universe. Very interesting. Would you like to tell us a little bit of the other work he did in addition to the Nobel Prize?
Sure. He worked with Bell Laboratories, which then became AT&T later on. And so he did other radio work, finding other basic elements from the beginning of when everything started. And then he also went on to teach at Princeton, where he said that he thought he learned more from his students than he could teach them. And after he taught, he then went on to write a book, and then he went to Silicon Valley to help research, like startup and development companies there, because he's just never wanted to give up doing research. Even after he retired from his personal research, he wanted to help others do research.
Well, he worked all up until the end, it seems like. Very good. And it's interesting how he moved first from sort of cosmic radiation, then to cell phone towers and phone waves and things like that. Interesting, very varied applications of the same physics. Anything else you want to mention about your
Just a funny story about his research. His partner and him, when they're first hearing this background noise, the radio waves, they thought it was because of pigeons in the antenna that they built. And after they got rid of the pigeons, that's when they finally discovered that it was the background radiation and not just a random occurrence.
And I guess that's why it's so important to check your results against other people.
Exactly.
In case there are some factors like pigeons messing
Yep.
up your results. Very interesting and very diligent of him to keep checking and building on other people's research. Definitely shows a spirit of collaboration,
Yeah.
even if it wasn't totally direct.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Amanda.
Thank you for having me.
You have been listening to Innovation Unedited. I'm your host, Sasha Whitaker, and we've been speaking with Amanda Bernstein on Arno Penzias, the recipient of the 1978 Nobel Prize in Physics. Thank you so much.